Chet Holmgren has been in the NBA for a total of 3 NBA seasons, and throughout those 3 seasons, we got the first year where he did not play a single game for the Oklahoma City Thunder, his second season, well technically his rookie season, where he played all 82 games, and his third season where he only played 32. And throughout those games, we've seen an immense amount of potential in Chet Holmgren. Going into this season, he will be for sure a top 5 defender in basketball, and he will be an upcoming offensive superstar. I covered this earlier in the season on my YouTube channel where we're looking at a new evolution of big men that can put the ball on the floor, move in space, run in transition really well, and be extremely versatile and scheme proof on defense, and I think Chet fits that mold perfectly. When we talk about guarding in space, being able to guard in transition and protect the rim at the level that Chet Holmgren is able to do, I think that there is not many other players that are better than him, especially at this age. But we know how good Chet Holmgren is on the defensive side of the floor. He came into the NBA as one of the best defensive prospects we've seen this decade. So how can he improve as an offensive player to become the superstar that most of the NBA knows he can become? In the first 9 games of the NBA season, Chet Holmgren was averaging 18 points per game, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks per game. He did all of this while averaging 40% from 3 on 4 3-point attempts per game and a 63% true shooting. And in this early start, a lot of his game was used by putting the ball on the floor, being able to get to the rim effectively, and have over-the-top shot making. Here he's going to be able to wiggle his way to the rim and get the and-one finish. A lot of his game is used off of his catch radius as well. He's not the best screener, but with a guard like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the defense is going to commit and he's able to be a safety blanket consistently. In this clip, you're going to be able to see him put the ball on the floor against a bigger wing in Michael Porter Jr. He's going to get stopped here, but then he's going to muscle his way right to the rim and get the easy finish. And in this stretch, Chet also shot 40% from 3. He does have a slow release and isn't the best shooter off the dribble, but as a spot-up shooter, he can be really effective. Here he's going to set the screen for SGA. Once again, still not the best screener, but he pulls up from about 8 feet and knocks the shot down with ease. In this position out of the pick and roll, he sets the easy screen, and once he gets the ball, he doesn't even have to put the ball on the floor. He notices his positioning, turns around, and makes the shot easily. Just imagine how effective it is to have your 7-foot big be a good spot-up shooter, but can also attack closeouts and make mid-range pull-ups. One thing that was unlocked when Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein finally shared the floor together was the high-low aspect, with Isaiah Hartenstein being such a gifted passer at his position, being able to find Chet as a low man or on the dunker spot to get lobs. Or in transition, where Chet Holmgren can be used as a trailer to pull up from 3, or to be used as a lob threat or somebody that can cut to the basket and finish effectively. Here he's going to make the spin move and get to the basket with ease. Chet Holmgren shot 46% from this right corner 3, so they have to show that respect as a shooter, and once they don't, he cuts to the basket for another high-low with Hartenstein. As a cutter and as a big in transition, I feel as though Chet is perfect. His catch radius, the speed, and the ability and agility that he has to get to the rim effectively on or off the ball is extremely impactful. When you have a big that's so fluid and athletic, these possessions in the open floor and in transition in general make it much easier, and this is why the Thunder were one of the best transition teams in the NBA last season. He doesn't create much contact on screens, but with a guard that can create advantages like Shai, the finishes are easy. But there is no perfect NBA player. If your name's not Kobe Bryant, you are not a perfect NBA player. And in Chet's case, a guy that's only played 1 full season out of 3 and someone who is still very raw offensively, there comes weaknesses. And there are weaknesses in Chet's offensive game that I find very, very important. While Chet does play a physical brand of basketball, he does get stopped up when going against more solid bigs or more solid forwards as well, especially if he can't get the first step on the perimeter. If he struggles to get that first step, he doesn't really have that overpowering strength that he can use to create space. There's a lot of clips that I'm about to show to where he tries to create a bump and he just ends up putting himself in a bad position to finish. So around the rim, when he's not really be able to create that space, off contact alone, he could struggle when finishing. If we take a look at this clip here, he's going to have a full head of steam getting downhill against a Keegan Murray, and he's just not able to create that space off the bump, and he's not able to finish. Even against rookie Modest Buzelis, he's not able to get the first step, and he can't use his physicality to create the space for the easy layup. And while Chet's handle is really good for a big, we do have to remember that Chet is still very tall and his handle is going to be higher up. So when being guarded by smaller defenders, you can get an easier strip on the ball because the handle is so high up. We see this with bigs that put the ball on the floor all the time. Guys like Evan Mobley, guys like Victor Wembanyama, and Chet included, when he's dribbling through traffic, when he's playing one-on-one against a smaller defender who's able to find those openings within his handle and just create disruptions when he's trying to drive to the basket. So we have to find a middle ground here where he can still be effective with his handle, but have the strength to be able to use that contact when he's not able to use his finesse and his handle to get to the rim effectively. And we just have not found that gray area between his game yet. Now, do I think that's going to come? Do I think he's going to add strength? Yes, but as of right now, that is a struggle for him. And the last thing I want to talk about is just the screen setting. He doesn't really make much contact when he's setting screens, but I don't necessarily harp on this as much as the strength and ball handle because he doesn't set screens as much now with Isaiah Hartenstein in the loop. He's more used of a guy that's in the dunker spot, somebody that can cut to the basket, or somebody that can play off of an initial pick and roll with an Isaiah Hartenstein and SGA or Isaiah Hartenstein and Jalen Williams. So I don't necessarily harp on this as much, but if he is going to move back to the 5 spot, I would like him to be a better screen setter so he can create more easier looks around the basket. But then again, you're playing with a point guard in SGA who is already going to demand double teams or demand blitzes out of the pick and roll to where you're already put in a 4-on-3 situation and you can find the opening within the defense to get the lob pass or to get the 4, 5, 6 foot push shot or to have that mid-range pull up. So this isn't really a real criticism of Chet's game right now. I do believe that he's going to build that strength and become a better screen setter, but as of right now, I do wish he would set a little bit more contact during those screens when he gets that opportunity. Now, even though Chet shot 38% on almost 4 3-pointers a game, I do think he's a little limited as a 3-point shooter. Off the catch, I just don't know, especially off motion. I don't know if his jump shot is quick enough to be able to get off clean looks, off motion or off dribble. I do think spotting up his slow release can kind of be okay, especially depending on how far the closest defender is. But off the dribble and off motion or just not having as big of a window, a lot of players could contest easily due to how slow his jumper is. Here he's going to have a really good cushion between him and the defense, so he gets it off pretty cleanly, but we've seen clips of him being able to have a contested shot because his jumper is a little slower. So that's something I would expect to see worked on in the offseason. But it's time to get to Chet's calling card. What makes him a star ascending to a superstar level already? What makes me confident that he's going to be an all-star level player as soon as next season? The defense, and why Chet Holmgren is already a top 5 defender in today's NBA. With Chet Holmgren having an insane 7'6" wingspan, it's already extremely hard to finish over top of him. But now you add the athleticism, the foot speed, the positioning, the ability to stay up and down the floor in transition with guards and wings. It's just really hard to finish around the rim when Chet Holmgren is on the floor. He has expert timing and expert accuracy when he is blocking these shots. If we take a look at this clip specifically, Chet Holmgren is able to find his way back to the rim in time to disrupt this shot from Norman Powell, which makes it much tougher for the offense. Or in this pick and roll situation where he's playing amazing drop coverage on Dennis Schroeder and then recovers to get the block on Jalen Duren. Or even in this clip in transition where James Harden gets the ball in the fast break and he's able to stick right beside James Harden and make it a tough finish. OKC have the speed on the perimeter to be able to keep Chet Holmgren around the rim. And when he's around the rim, he's the most dangerous, and this is when the defense is truly at their best. Him being that A+ rim protector makes things so much easier. All in all, I think Chet Holmgren is poised to be an all-star next season, and I think the year 3 leap is going to be massive. I think Chet Holmgren has all the tools to still be a top 5 defender in the league, but to take an offensive jump similar to what Evan Mobley did, becoming more of a ball handler and scorer, and maybe even a passer. I think Chet Holmgren has one of the highest ceilings in the NBA, especially with all the guys that are 25 and under. Maybe I'll be ranking my top 10 pretty soon, but I do think Chet Holmgren will be the key to a Thunder repeat next season. If you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow me on TikTok at @TheBuzzerENT. Make sure you guys follow me on Playback at @TheBuzzerSports. And make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at @TheBuzzerSports_. And make sure you guys subscribe to my new YouTube channel, John D Reacts, where we're going to be doing things outside of basketball, talking about things outside of basketball, and just showing more of my interest. And if you guys are interested in that, make sure you subscribe in the link in the description down below. And if you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.